Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler video series V's I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there to try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink the stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. We're on to dish number 3 from this particular location. I had a particularly standout first start, a very good second start, maybe not quite as standout, but still very good. And now we're on to the third, so we're hoping for 3 for 3 here. But we'll get into that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight super cool shirt. So what super cool shirt am I wearing today? Boom! It's my cold shirt, specifically from the Broken Human Tour 2019, which was significant because it was like the first time that Cold had toured in almost a decade. If you are unfamiliar with the band Cold, they are a band that's been around since like around the mid-90s or so. They've kind of changed up their sound over the years, sort of depending. Some of their earlier stuff was a little bit heavier. Their, more modern-ish stuff a little bit lighter. They've been considered like post-grunge. They've fallen into the nu metal genre, which is kind of where I became aware of them because I'm a big fan of the nu metal genre. I got into these guys on their album 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage, which is personally still my favorite of their albums, although Year of the Spider is a very good album as well. And really, none of their albums are bad, just they vary quite a bit. Like if you got into them in the era that I did, and then you expected that to go forward, was not the case. But I do still really like these folks. I've been fortunate enough to see them live a few times now, and I actually have videos of all of those performances on this channel, just in case you're interested. I have an entire playlist of just concert videos, so. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, like I said, this is the third one now because we're doing some more Cuban and Puerto Rican food, specifically from, boom, Moncho's Cafe in Roselle, Illinois. And I should mention, I forgot to mention this in the last one. Because this is a local spot, this is going to end up on a new playlist that I have called Eating Out, Illinois, which is just a playlist for local spots, places that I'm hoping to highlight with my, limited capacity that I have here. I found out about this place, figured let's give it a go. So I just had some, I started out with some empanadas, then I went to the Cubano sandwich, and now, folks, we're going on to something that I've never had before, and I'm very excited for, and it's a whole thing, because it is, boom, it's this. What is this? It's a lot of stuff, and there's rice. This specifically is, and I had to look up how to pronounce it. It is Jibarito con Arroz y Gondules. Yes. Sorry to the fine people of Puerto Rico and Cuba for fucking up the name of your thing. It is a plantain sandwich with steak and a side of Creole rice. So that's what we have here. And I actually did look up a little information on this particular dish. How much did it cost me, by the way? $11.95. That ain't bad at all. And then, so it's plantain sandwich, sauteed onions, steak, and then it comes with rice. That's the con arroz granules, which is rice, peas, and pork, basically. And so I guess, as far as I could tell, it's Puerto Ricans, more specifically, Chicago Puerto Rican. That's what the Wikipedia thing said. And apparently, Jibarito is basically Puerto Rican for hillbilly. I don't know anything about that. I'm just here to eat food, so the main focus here has to, of course, be the sandwich. Can we get, how does one do? Okay. Let's let go. There we go. All right. Stay. It looks like this. Boom! It's a sandwich. There's steak and stuff, and there's tomatoes too. Alright, so let's give this a go. There's no way this isn't going to be messy as shit. Alright. There's also like a mayo. So this version, I guess, is varying somewhat from the original definition that I got for it. Which is fair enough. I don't have any problem with that. Because I don't think there's any sauteed onions. But there is definitely, like, there's some nice kind of skirt steak, some cheese. Got the plantains holding it together. I'm digging the plantains. Plantains are one of those things where it's like, yeah, man, like, you know, they're pretty common as far as like an ingredient in a lot of stuff, and like sort of like South America kind of places and everything. And I wish we would use more of it up here in North America because it's really good. I am super down with this, man. Steak is delicious. It's nice, it's tender, it's cooked well. Plantain, like I said, it gives a very different texture and flavor experience than if it were just using like normal bread for like a sandwich. Because it's almost like it breaks apart when you eat it. You know, you're not like tearing it away like you would a bread. You're biting into it, and as you're chewing it, it's actually just breaking up. Almost like a pastry kind of thing. And then I love the addition personally, I love the addition of the tomato. I like tomato anyway, but I think it's nice. I think, especially for something like this, it helps really kind of liven it up a little bit. That, plus the, like the mayo, or whatever sauce it is. Are you a mayo? Yeah, definitely mayo. It gives it, you know, just a little extra zing to it. I think it works nicely with the tomato. And it's just really good, man. Like it's steak, it's cheese, tomato, mayo, plantain. There's nothing to dislike about that. About the only aspect of it that's a little bit like unusual, if you know you happen to be from the United States like myself, maybe you're not super familiar with Puerto Rican food and all that. Basically, just the plantain. That's the only part of it that's like I said, just maybe not as familiar. But it's nice, and it's not like a huge part of the overall flavor of the sandwich, but it's there, and like I said, it's something different, it's something unique. I really like that a lot. And then just for posterity's sake, we're going to go over there and have a little bit of the rice, just because, you know, it's part of the whole dish. And to be fair, I do love me like some Spanish style rice and everything, I like call it. So we'll do a little bit of the rice real quick here. Rice. That's some good rice too. Because, like I said, like I love rice. Rice is fucking fantastic. And I love like Spanish, Mexican style rices and everything. They're very flavorful. And if you get good ones, you don't really need to add anything. But if you get ones that are maybe a little bit so-so, you know, take like some hot sauce or something, kind of pour it in, give it a little extra oomph. With this one, don't need the hot sauce. It's perfectly flavorful. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's not the highlight of the dish, But it's a nice side, and it's something I can get behind. I like I said, I fucking love rice. And this is some solid rice. Yeah. Alright, well, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm going to go with yes, and absolutely yes. So here's the thing. For me, I think this might be my favorite thing that I've had out of all the stuff that I've tried from Moncho's. I figured coming into it, it would be the Cubano sandwich. And while I did really enjoy their Cubano sandwich, certain variations, kind of how it was prepared versus how I've had it prepared in other certain circumstances. I did enjoy it. I think it was good, but it actually ended up being kind of the lesser of the 3 in this instance, even though, again, still very good. The empanadas were fantastic, and those damn near stole the show, but I have to admit, I personally think that the Jibarito con Arroz y Gondules, something like that. The rice, it's good rice. It's nice as a side. It's nothing that's groundbreaking or anything like that. But the sandwich itself was really fantastic. Everything there was really tasty on it. I love the plantain aspect of it. I love the different flavors that were going on. It was one of those things where I love it because certain aspects of it were familiar to me and certain aspects weren't as familiar to me. And it all just worked out really nice, and it was just a really fun sandwich. So I think for me, yeah, absolutely. And if I'm recommending it to people, I would definitely say check this one out, because the Cubano sandwich is good, and I think it's an easier place to start maybe. But I think if you're a little bit more adventurous, I would say go for this one, because I think it has so much personality to it. And, again, whereas the Cubano might be a little bit easier to kind of, to get into, I do think that this is one of those things where it's try it, man. I think there's a lot to it, and I think it's one of those things that more people should, be aware of, because I'd fucking never heard of it until now. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of the day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, spend this rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly Cuban and Puerto Rican-tastic rest of your life, because I've had some really good lunch, and, and I have to give full credit, by the way, to Moncho's. They were going to end up on the playlist anyway. Again, Eating Out Illinois. But even beyond that, I'm very happy to have them on that list with so many other great establishments that I really love. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and bullshit, and just take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe there's some sort of well, no, I already brought that one up in the Cubano sandwich. I was going to say, maybe there's some sort of regional sandwich. I already did that. Folks, maybe there's some sort of regional cuisine. No, I did that one in the empanada one. But no, seriously. Folks, maybe there is some sort of cuisine that you absolutely love. It doesn't even have to be regional. Maybe it's just, simple American cuisine, simple British cuisine, whatever it may be. You don't even have to go over there and necessarily recommend anything to me. Feel free to just go over there and share your stories, in the comments section. I love hearing about this stuff. And I have had people in my comments go over there and be like, hey, this and this and this and this. And that's super cool. Because not only does it allow me to kind of expand my own knowledge base, but it allows me to connect with you folks. And that's part of what this show is about, is, me sharing my connection with you. And, if you feel like returning the favor, I appreciate that very much. And if you don't feel like it, that's okay too. So, but I will say this. If you happen to be in the area, go to Moncho's. They got some good food. Bye.